UndergroundVideoNetwork.com presents the We Talk Too Much podcast.
This is where the fun begins.
Comic books, superheroes, sci-fi, gaming, and everything nerdy.
That's it. This is just too weird.
Now, here's your host of the We Talk Too Much podcast, Mike and Richard.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of Underground Video Network's We Talk Too Much. I am Michael Boroff.
And I'm Richard Catterjohn.
Rich, how's it going?
Good.
How's everything been?
Pretty good. Trying to get things, make sure everything's signed to the T at school, trying to get my diploma.
I know when we talked last week, you just graduated.
Yep.
And you know, as a fellow alumni of a certain institution, you know, where we're going, we don't need roads. You know, I know that sometimes the paperwork can get a little in your way, and you had a similar little bit of an incident, didn't you?
Yeah. Something didn't. It didn't work when I was trying to sign out, and then I guess it didn't save everything, so I had to redo everything. Nothing major, but
but I'm glad to see that everything's taken care of.
I hope so.
Oh man, what a great week! Oh man, there's a couple things I literally just thought about, Richard, because I don't know if the people who watch the show, me and Richard, we don't really plan anything. We've learned the downside of like bullet points, and it actually works against us. There was a couple other things that we hadn't mentioned earlier, Richard, that I really wanted to talk about. Let's talk about that trailer that dropped this last week, man. Venom 2.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go on record right now. I really enjoyed the first movie. I did.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the hell out of the first movie. It's funny, Richard. I finally picked it up on Blu-ray today. Because I rented it, you know, off of one of the streaming services, and I really liked it. And I'm like, I'm gonna buy it. And it was just like whenever I thought about it, wherever I was at didn't have it, or they had it and I just like glimpsed over it. But like I was like, I'm not forgetting today. I purposely, after I saw the trailer, I'm like, I'm going out and I'm finding that movie, and I picked it up today. I did. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I remember I watched it like the Friday it came out because I got the comic book because they gave away X amount of comic books during the opening.
Oh yeah,
Because
I did. I liked it. Tom Hardy. It took me a little while to warm up to Tom Hardy. I know he's a fantastic actor, but my biggest beef that I had to get over when I first watched Venom the first time was his portrayal of Eddie Brock seemed a little, man, it was, I don't want to say over the top, but he constantly, it had the feeling like he was going through like drug withdrawal. Like, yeah, man, I'm in the elevator. You know, it was just, but I really liked it. I thought the way they handled it, you know, not being able to, you know, jump off of the Spider-Man story, it still stayed pretty damn true to this, you know, the Venom story without dealing with Spider-Man. A symbiote, another planet.
yeah,
Eddie Brock. I liked how they handled Eddie in this one. He wasn't a disgraced Daily Bugle reporter. You know, he wasn't Eddie Brock wasn't the bad guy. You know.
yeah.
They did a good job of making him a very likable hero, and that new trailer was balls out wackadoo, and I loved every minute of it, man. I enjoyed it so much. One thing I was really happy with is when the first movie came out and we got to see Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy at the end. It got everybody so excited, but that period of time passed, you know, where it's just like, are they going to make a sequel? Is it ever going to happen? Is he still going to be attached to it? You know, there was
Right, yeah.
there was some fear that, if it does ever come around, it might be too late. But man, seeing him go full Cletus Cassidy, and thank God they fixed his hair. Jesus God, man. That was the one complaint I had when they showed him. It was just like the set designer was like, crap, he's blonde. We need a ginger wig. Grab me that one. We'll fix it in But he looked great. I love that they showed the relationship, if you can call it that, the relationship between Eddie and Venom. I was like, but I was not expecting this. Like when he was going through the bodega, like he's straightening, like he's not hiding Venom. I love that idea that he's not. And even the clerk at the bodega was just like, hi Eddie, hi Mrs. Hi Venom. Oh, like, oh my God, dude. It's literally, Richard, it's like somebody, like the writers were like, you know what? We've seen, the bad guy, storyline before, and he's good now and everything. Is like, we've seen that all before. You know what I want? Let's go Odd Couple. Let's go Odd Couple. And I'm like, it worked. It was really good.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rick.
No, go.
No, I was gonna say there was one really cool Easter egg, and I didn't catch it at first. God bless the internet for this one. And I went through and I rewatched the trailer on my TV and not my phone. It just makes my heart so happy to see that they are still continuing the tradition. But as Eddie and Venom are walking through the bodega, it's really quick. If you're not paying attention, you won't notice it. You notice one of Venom's tentacles straightens a magazine on the rack.
Yeah.
Stanley's on the cover.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, bless you. God, man, thank you for that. But no, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rich. I don't have it brought up. Did it get the R rating, or are they going PG-13 with this one?
I still don't think it's been rated, because I was kind of looking at it. It says it's going to be September the 24th in theaters. So, but on the actual trailer, it hasn't said exactly what the rating is going to be. So,
oh, please R-rated, please R-rated. I want to see Venom. I want to see him mow down on bad guys, and especially Carnage. Dude, if they try to pull off Carnage in a PG-13 set, no. And
I'm looking at the IMAX poster, and it doesn't say. It says a rating soon or whatever. Yeah,
I'm really hoping. Everybody talked about after Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2 came out that, hey, we can make an R-rated superhero movie and still make money.
Right.
So I'm hoping they continue that tradition, and especially being as smart as they are. Well, they didn't really do it by choice, but doing a Venom movie without Spider-Man, they don't have to rely on a PG-13. We're not aiming for the Spider-Man market. We're aiming for the Venom market.
Right, yeah. And, that's being very popularized right now, the R-rated, with like the series is on both Amazon Prime and Netflix right now with superhero.
Oh my, yeah, we will jump into those here. Oh man. But yeah, the Venom 2 trailer came out this week. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm really looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing it at the theater too, Rich. I will, one way or another. I want to see that one at the theater.
Yeah.
Was there any other? I'm trying to think, Rich. Was there any other trailers? I get this like little gnawing sensation in the back of my head that I'm missing something, but I don't think anything else really.
No, there's the He-Man stuff. That was all the big talk about the anime's He-Man.
That was it. Yeah, the announcement of Kevin Smith's reboot, if you can call it retelling reboot of the He-Man Masters of the Universe franchise. And I love Kevin Smith. He is an idol. I worked at a video store when Clerks came to theaters. He is, but when it comes to anything comic book related, he doesn't have the best track record of being on time about stuff. I'm looking at you, Spider-Man and Black Cat. I'm still 20 years later waiting for issue 3, I think it is.
But I think with Netflix, I think Netflix really not bad, so I don't think we have to worry about that.
And you know the one thing, Richard, that I read that had me hook, line, and sinker, because I'm not going to lie to you. I loved He-Man growing up. The Goofy reboot when he was like in space or whatever, I completely ignored that one. The latest reboot from a few years ago was actually really good. If I had a second, I'd run and grab it. I've got the complete run on DVD. I really enjoyed that one. But I saw it and I'm looking at it, I'm like, I like the art style, I like the everything, and I'm like, I wasn't fully invested in it yet, Richard. I'm like, cool. It's Kevin Smith. I'm on board. Cool. Yep. It's another He-Man reboot.
Well, they must have most of the series done because it's a 2-part story arc with 5 episodes in part 1.
Yeah.
And it debuts July the 23rd. So Netflix is going to dump them all on July the 23rd, I guess. So.
Yeah. But you know what got me, Richard? You know what pulled me in, hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Hamill is doing the voice of Skeletor. I read that and I was like, I'm done. I'm in. I was like, add to cart, whatever, because I am so familiar with Mark Hamill's body of work when it comes to voiceover. I'm like already mentally picturing what we're going to have. And I'm like, I can't wait for it. And dude, they like you said, Richard, they are going full out with it because they've already released the images of the toy line.
Oh yeah.
And I don't mean prototypes. I mean like,
it's ready to go. Yeah, I think that launches like a week or 2 before the series even starts. You know?
And forgive me, Richard. I should look it up. I don't want to butcher the name, but Black Widow wasn't the only Marvel movie preview that we've seen here recently. The other one, Richard, the Kung Fu one.
Oh, Shang-Chi?
Thank you, Shang-Chi. Yes. Dude, I was at Walmart today going through, surprising shocker, I was going through the Lego section, for a birthday gift for me. But they've already got sets of it out. Dude, I almost... There were 2 sets already out, and this is Lego dropped the ball. They did it again. There were 2 sets. One was just like a throwaway car chase scene where it's just like him, a car, a motorcycle, and whatever. But the other scene is the other set was a full-on dragon.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, cool. Mother, come on.
Hey,
like, I didn't see that in the trailer. If it had made an appearance in the trailer, it would have been one thing. But I'm like, come on, Lego, you did it again. The worst one they ever did was when they released the airport scene from Civil War, where they announced Giant Man.
Yeah.
But no, I'm already seeing merchandise for it. I saw a couple, 2 or 3 different pops. I don't know if they have figures yet because nobody has figures anymore, Richard. I went to Walmart and there was like 3 or 4 He-Mans, which was weird.
Yeah.
But, the shelves are bare anywhere you go. So I didn't see anything about that. But
I know another trailer that dropped last week was. They had the trailer for Protege. That's the new one with Samuel L. Jackson in it, and it's got Maggie Q as the main star, like a spy that's coming out August 20th. I know it's not really superhero related, but I really get into all those action, especially if it's got and it's got Michael Keaton in it too. So
yeah, another one that dropped, Richard, that can almost. I'm going to segue in perfectly, but it was The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
Oh, yeah.
Sequel to The Hitman's Bodyguard. Oh, dude. I mean, we got Nick Fury. We've got Deadpool. We've got Salma Hayek, who is a superheroine unto herself.
Well, she's going to be. She's in the Eternals.
That's right. Holy shit. Dude, that trailer look, I'm a real big fan of the first movie. I liked that one a lot.
But
and I'm telling you right here now that at some point in the future, when the Fox, Marvel, everything starts to finally intertwine, if we don't get a scene with Deadpool and Nick Fury and they don't make a hit, they robbed us. Marvel robbed us of the no shit Sherlock between Robert Downey Jr. and Benedict Cumberbatch. They owe us. So, no, that trailer looked good. The other one, the other trailer, Richard, the one that's getting a lot of attention, and you shared it on our website, was the Green Knight.
Oh yeah, that looked pretty cool.
Wow, that looked really good.
It had that like Excalibur feel to it, you know.
Yes, I mean, it starts off with Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Sir Gawain is, the main focus of the story. And what I really liked about the trailer, Richard, was, I mean, aside from, the Green Knight coming out, at first it seemed like we knew what kind of story was going to be told.
Right.
But then some trippy shit happened. We got talking foxes and we got giants, then you're like, okay, I don't know what to expect now.
Yeah, that comes out July the 30th. That's when that's scheduled to hit theaters. So
yeah.
It's nice that we're starting to see stuff come to the theaters, especially now the CDC is kind of relaxing a lot of the mask requirements and stuff like that. So, who knows what's going to be happening. Hopefully theaters will start booming again,
Yeah, because those are definitely ones, especially Venom 2. The Green Knight looks like one that you really need to see at the theater. You know what I mean? Like, that one looks like it's going to be epic.
Yeah. Always go to drive-in.
Hey, where I live right down the road from a drive-in. And, the sad thing is, though, Richard, I'm at that point in my life where I'm comfortable doing damn near anything and everything on my own. I don't need somebody to go to a restaurant and have something to eat. I go to the theater all by myself all the time. I miss going to the theater with you. I can't do the drive-in, man.
Oh.
I can't. There is no way not to feel creepy going to a drive-in movie, sitting in the car by yourself. I haven't gotten there yet.
Well, you have to take the cameras and stream your live streaming as you do the MS.
You know what? You have two options: either be the creepy weird guy sitting in his car alone, or be the influencer douche. Hey guys, it's your boy Mike, and I'm here at the Dandale Drive-In. Because then people just be like, "Oh, I want nothing to do with him." If you're in a car by yourself, people are like, they're clutching their kids and walking around your car. But if you're doing the influencer thing, they're like, no, no. One thing we mentioned a little bit last week, Richard, that we didn't get to really expand on because I hadn't finished watching it. I finished watching Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix, and wow, from beginning to end, I was very impressed with not only the story, special effects, the costumes,
right.
Even a small thing, Rich, the makeup. Both you and I, Richard, we've seen some pretty bad old man makeup before. You know what I mean? We've seen some pretty horrendous. They looked good. Josh Duhamel and Leslie Bibb, they pulled it off really well. They didn't go overboard.
Right.
You know what I mean? They, I am very familiar with Josh Duhamel's work. I am a fan of his. I know who he is. I know he's not that old, but seeing him in that subtle makeup, the gray beard, I think that really helped out too, the gray beard.
Oh,
They
yeah.
didn't have to do prosthetics a lot, you know. But he did. He pulled it off. It looked really good. I was very impressed with it, Rich. What about you?
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. I was not I've never read the source material, so I was going into the series basically straight into the series. I just never really picked up because I mean I like some of Mark Miller stuff, but I just really didn't get in all his comic books back there in what was it, the early 2000s there, you
Yeah.
know. So, but I did leaf through like issue 1, 2, and stuff like that when it first came out. Excuse me, that was back in like the Comic Connection time frame,
Yeah.
you know.
I think what really set Jupiter Legacy aside was it's difficult to take a fresh spin on superheroes.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this though, and I'll give him leeway because it's Mark Miller, but watching it, I got a very strong Kingdom Come vibe from it.
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Older superheroes with the younger, more violent generation of heroes.
Yeah.
But that's where it ended. I will grant that that was where it ended. But it was a very fresh take. You know, it wasn't just, you know, oh, here's a bunch of superheroes and they're effed up too, you know, which they are, you know,
Right.
but modernizing them, bringing it into current times. And I like how they pretty much stuck with like our history.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? He mentions, you know, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, Desert Storm, you know.
Well, they even joked around that they are not joked around, but they were mentioning that maybe they should have stopped World War II sooner.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they never interfered because they let humans do their own thing and they weren't like trying to rule them, you know, because it was his rule, what was it, the conduct, the code, yeah. Yeah. It prevented them from interfering and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I still think we got the closest we'll ever see the Justice League fighting Darkseid.
You are absolutely right. That was another really cool thing, man. Was that villain? What was it? Darkstar?
Darkstar, yeah.
Dude,
Spoilers.
Oh yes.
We forgot to tell everybody, but everybody knows we spoil everything we talk about.
Well, no, we were just mentioning Darkstar. He is a villain in the book.
Yeah.
But dude, he was badass.
Oh yeah.
He looked, I mean, again, this is coming from I shouldn't even say it like this anymore because I was going to say coming from a Netflix budget, but let's be honest, man.
They're spending money.
Dude, let's be honest, man. Netflix is putting out major motion picture level entertainment. You know, they're up there with the big boys, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And he looked badass. And one of the things I liked about him was I liked him as a character because I liked when they showed him in prison. He's sitting there reading his book, sipping his tea, listening to classical music. I was like, that was awesome. Like, it wasn't expected, you know, you just thought he was going to be, you know, like, raw Hulk smash, you know, but he's sitting there like, oh, you've come to visit, eh? Hadn't expected to see you, old chap. No. Delightful Earl Grey, you know. But the story has been really good. The idea that these heroes have been around since what they're saying the 30s, you know, around the Great Depression.
Yeah, right after the 20s there, and because they went out on the boat and found the island and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. That these heroes have been around for, you know, that long, and we've gotten to see how the changing world has both affected some of the characters and still completely unaffected.
Right.
You know, Sheldon, he, you know, it didn't matter what time period they were in. It doesn't matter what the world's like. The code is the code. And the problem is the world's changing, and
yeah,
you know, it's breaking his heart, especially, you know, again, spoilers, the reaction that he sees the world have after his son Brandon takes the life of the quote unquote clone of Brainwave, they're cool with it.
No.
The world's cool with it, and that really genuinely bugs him,
Yeah. Yeah, it's like they don't fit anymore, and that's what I think they were playing off of, that older style of superheroing doesn't work anymore, because the villains do whatever they want to do,
Yeah. And it's a fine line, well, think about it. Perfect example. You have Batman on this side, who is, I will never use a gun. I will never kill, except for the 50 caliber guns attached to my jet and my, I will blow a building up, or,
Yeah, remind me. We got a scene out of Batwoman this week. I got to point out because I died laughing what she did this week.
Oh yeah,
she did something in the background that you didn't think. Did you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
She was fighting through those guys. Let's go ahead and say, she was fighting through the guy, and then she kicked that one guy, and he went over the railing. That guy could not have survived.
Nope. Dude, let's go back to even Batman Returns with Michael Keaton. It's one of the most famous scenes ever, especially, when people like to point out the hypocrisy, but it's when the clown gang was attacking, Gotham. Right. Dude, he threw that guy over the edge and threw that bomb in after him. And like a second later, it explodes. Like, you just murdered that man. But I digress. You've got, you've got Batman who's like, oh, I will never use a gun and I will never. But then you've got Captain America, who is a soldier.
Yeah. Yeah, he used to, back in the day.
What defines, heroism. But I enjoyed the way that they shot it. I enjoyed the way. I think that's becoming Netflix's staple between this and like Witcher, jumping time periods,
Oh yeah.
I will say this though, at least Jupiter's Legacy was way easier to figure out, It's like, oh look, an old Studebaker. I'm pretty sure they're in the past, But I enjoyed the way they filmed it. I liked the way they cut back and forth to it. It played out better than had they had gone, straight origin story.
Yeah.
Today. I thought the way they shot it and the way they edited it was very well done.
Is that how the comic book runs that way, or do you know?
I don't know yet. I was going to mention, I just today was at my comic book store, Alter Ego in Lima, Ohio, and I picked up the first trade to Jupiter's Legacy. And I haven't got a chance to read it yet. I only got home about an hour or so ago. But I wanted to mention that, remember, Richard, we had that conversation about how all the Netflix shows have been like reinvigorating the comic books and the trades.
And the graphic novels, yeah.
If you'll notice, Jupiter's Legacy, but it also shows.
Yeah, over there. Yep.
So this is a new book. This is a new
printing. It's a new printing. Yeah.
It's a new printing. This isn't, ones that they had in storage and have brought out because of the popularity of the show. No, these are new printings.
Well, that's like a lot of those independent stuff that Netflix has been putting out, like Warrior Nun. They had a rerun of the printing of that and some of the other stuff that they've been doing. Lock and Key. Lock and Key's been popular again in the comics, so.
And after that resurgence, they've been putting out. Well, the great thing about Lock and Key is there's a lot of other stories besides what we saw in the Netflix show, with the family.
Right.
That house has been around for generations.
Yeah.
And after the show gained traction and got popular, and they started reprinting the books.
Right.
I've purchased at least 2. The one was kind of a crossover, but at least 2, maybe 3 new books within that same Lock and Key universe.
Oh, okay.
So not only is it reinvigorating the old prints, we're getting new stories.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But no, I just picked this up today. I'm flipping through it. It does seem like they do a little bit of the back and forth.
Okay.
No spoilers, but I'm seeing, that is definitely some,
Yep.
that's an old time speakeasy, but then like a page or two later.
Yep.
I've heard that it follows the first few issues very well. I believe it does, but I'm seeing a lot of story that I'm predicting they're going to touch on in the next run.
Right.
Because in this trade alone, we get more of a backstory as to why George left the group.
Okay.
Which we didn't get. I don't even remember if we really even saw. No, we didn't see George.
No.
No, that was the whole thing about it, was us trying to find him.
Yeah.
We just saw him in flashbacks.
And then we got to see his son. Then I think, right?
Yes.
And that relationship's interesting.
We've got the daughter of the world's foremost famous superhero,
Right.
heroes.
Yeah.
Shagging the son of the world, the world's most famous supervillain.
Right.
And that was a great bit of storytelling too, Richard, when they showed him telling his friends.
Oh yeah.
That conversation at the bar, like, are you effing kidding me, man? I like how the one dude, he was more concerned about her trashing his van.
Right.
The job went bad. Okay. She trashed my van, dude. He's like, I get it. And even the other friends were like, no, man, that van was legendary.
Well, it had more properties, didn't it? Couldn't it like travel like some? We didn't see everything it could do, right?
I think so. Yeah.
It was supposed to be some kind of mystical something or something built around it. Yeah.
And I was so happy, Richard, to see. Oh, of course, we're not going to show. The one woman in the group, I know I'd mentioned her, Richard, because she's famous from being on Letterkenny.
Oh, yeah.
And she's also very infamous for being in The Boys' first episode for all of 5 minutes. Yeah, she's the one that A-Train plowed through. He left, a red mist of Huey's girlfriend. But when I saw her pop up in Jupiter's Legacy, I'm like, oh, sweet angel, please let her live. Come on, let her live. And the last I'd seen of her, Richard, because I didn't get to finish watching the series when we last spoke, was the last time I saw her was when Chloe chucked that one chick into space.
Oh, yeah.
She just like that's my favorite. I'm telling you, that is my favorite superhero move. If I was ever to become a superhero and I know I was going to lean down that dark path, that's my way. I'm not crushing. I'm not going, Omni-Man. I'm just chucking bros into space. Like, did you just kill that guy? Yeah. Off into space. You off into space. But she flew after her.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh no. But she came back. I was like, yes, she lived.
And I liked it that it was really a short, contained series. Remember, I've always said the shorter the series, the better. You can contain the story and stuff. Because we only got 6 episodes, right? So
here's the one thing I gotta disagree with you on, Richard. I agree with that too. I really thought this one could have been at least 2 more episodes long.
Right.
Because the cliffhanger, don't get me wrong, it was a good cliffhanger, but it wasn't a series, a season finale cliffhanger.
Right. Well, I think they weren't really going for that for this. I think this was just what they were trying to put out there. They were feeling out if it's going to work, then see if there's going to be a second season,
True.
Or I think they probably already greenlighted it. It probably was set up to be like 12 parts, and they just did it in 2.
Probably
I
true.
noticed Netflix is doing that a lot lately.
Yeah, which is weird, Richard, because Jesus, we talked about it last week, Richard. Like 2 or 3 of the shows we're looking forward to haven't even hit season 2, and they've already greenlit 2 and 3.
Right. Yeah.
But I haven't heard yet whether or not that they've greenlit 2, much less 3 for Jupiter's Legacy yet.
Right. I think they have. I think it was already set to be a certain amount that they was going to do for sure.
I was gonna say I can't imagine them not, because I mean if they're going to this trouble,
right?
If they're going to that trouble, they're putting their money into it. But yeah, the back and forth, I really liked. Oh my God, freaking Red Foreman showed up.
Oh.
Oh my God, Red Foreman! I will watch anything and everything with Red Foreman in it. I kept expecting him to tell Sheldon that he was going to put his boot in his ass. Now you got to go out into the ocean, dumbass. I did. I really enjoyed it. I thought the costumes were cool. I'd read a little bit of not the history, but some of the making of stuff about the costumes. It was like a brand new approach to making superhero costumes for movies. It was.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like your latex or whatever material they use. What was it? It was like a 3D printed, like what they use for shoes now.
Yeah, like a sneaker type
setting. Like a cloth fabric style 3D printing.
Right.
And I know when that article hit, man, I could hear a half a dozen of my cosplayer friends who have 3D printers going, "Oh, man, drop that material." Oh, buddy, it's going to be exciting for costume makers within the next few years. You watch it, you're going to see a whole new level.
Oh yeah.
Well, think about it, Richard. When 3D printers first made the scene, we're talking thousands of dollars.
Right.
Thousands of dollars, and I mean, I was like, "Oh, look, I made a cup." Now me and you can pick up a 3D printer for a couple $100, and a lot of my Ant-Man costume, the pieces were 3D printed, and was like a couple $100 in parts and labor for the people that I bought them from. So
right, yeah,
it's the technology's there. The technology's there, and we're seeing the beginning of it. And dude, I'm telling you, man, that technology for cosplayers is going to be. It's like, you want the whole suit? Give me 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. Like my class, I took a 3D modeling class, and we had to print up. We was it was really weird. The software we was using was off a little bit, so everything was like a little bit bigger. So everybody who designed stuff was off just a little bit. Because I made a babblefish from Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy.
Yes.
Or my interpretation.
Oh God, yes, I love that so much. But yeah,
as of this moment, there's no official season 2 yet. It just hadn't been set yet, so hopefully,
Well, hopefully, I mean, Netflix they've been playing catch up because of COVID. I mean, they just finished production of Witcher 2 not that long ago. They're in post-production now. So, maybe it's just like, okay, we're going to, but like, hold your horses, people. We,
right.
Even we only have so many people working for us.
Yeah, well, at least we're going to get the Army of the Dead coming out in a couple weeks. So,
dude, that looks so good. That looks so good. That was the other thing. Not the newest trailer for that just dropped here recently too.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like, it's like, you thought we were done with zombie movies, huh? Haha. No, we're not.
But like I said, Netflix is really picking up a bunch of stuff. And then, of course, just today dropped was Love, Death, Robots Volume 2. So
yes.
And I wasn't even sure that was going to happen,
Yeah. I am so horrible. I haven't finished it completely yet. I'm not even sure how many episodes I have left because they go so quick.
Oh yeah.
But spoiler alert, we're going to talk, because me and Richard were talking about this before the show started. Man, we're going to talk about that first episode. That first episode perfectly encapsulated what Love, Death, and Robots. First of all, the animation was phenomenal. That was, for that more Pixar-y style, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was amazing. That looked really good.
Yeah, I don't know. Just you have one of those little, sweeper robots go crazy. It's just hilarious.
I know. You know what it reminded me of, Richard? It reminded me of, I think it was the first episode of, I think it was season 2 of Black Mirror, the one with Bryce Dallas Howard in it, where they lived in a world where it was all about the phone and all about the likes. Dude,
Yeah.
I've seen some Twilight Zone and some Outer Limits episodes that have given me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
That goes down in my book. Like, I was playing on my phone as I was watching it, and I'm like, I put my phone down, and I'm like, I'm taking a step back. This seemed like more, it reminded me of that, but more of a humorous approach, because, you're seeing all these people. It reminded me of Wall-E, too.
Yeah.
You're seeing all the big people, or just people like in the hover chairs and the walkers, and
Right.
people in their smart cars, literally asleep, and I'm watching it going, that's gonna happen, man. That's where we're headed.
And when she went to the call center, or called in, that was hilarious. And the interaction, it was almost like they knew this would happen to these things.
Oh, because it was all what was it? It was all pre-recorded.
Right.
Do you have a question about your VacuBot? Press 1. If you'd like to discuss your limited warranty, press 2. If it's become a homicidal killing machine, press 3. I'm like, oh my God. Then it's going through all the steps of what to do if it's trying to kill you. Oh, you've attacked it, so now it's gone into hunter-killer mode. Like, God, man. I enjoyed that one. Was really good. And the thing about Love, Death, and Robots, too, is there are a few of them, Richard, and this was the same with the previous season, too, was a lot of, well, they're all self-contained.
Right.
But did you notice, Richard, that there are a lot of them, like the first episode, beginning, end, cool, liked it, move on. There's really good about doing ones where after it's over, you're like, I need more of this.
Oh, yeah.
I need more of this world. The one with the family that had just moved to, I want to say it was Europa. I mean, they never say, but
Yeah.
It was an ice planet that had a liquid, but them being on the world, and the son was, unmodded, and the older brother was, and
Right.
we didn't need a huge backstory. It's like they mentioned that they just moved there from Earth.
Right.
The younger brother who's been modded has a group of friends. Didn't need the backstory. It was just a very well done, self-contained story. But when I was done watching it, I'm like, I want more of this story. I want so much more of this story.
And that's just like the Christmas one with the 2 kids. And they're there after everything happens, they're laying back in the bed, and the one goes, "What would happen if we were bad?"
Yeah. 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 Oh, yeah. Well, oh my God. Then, oh man. And that's the other thing about Love, Death, and Robots is, and when I say this, I say it as a compliment. It is all over the place, because you have the fun, witty kind of commentary, that's fun.
Right.
Then you got like a serious, dramatic story. But then that one, Richard, with the guy who hunts, well, the child hunter.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was
Oh, dude, that wrecked me.
yeah.
That one wrecked me.
Because it almost had like a Blade Runner feel to it.
Thank you. Yes.
In a way, because
Yeah.
he changes his mind, it was just like,
And even seeing, you had that cloud level, and it felt like they drew a little bit from the Fifth Element too, because you had that cloud level where everything underneath here is like slum and ghetto. And then everything up here was like the rich, wealthy people.
Yeah, because you had the opera singer and stuff like that. It was
the opera singer, that guy. I was like, come on, man.
Yeah. But it, I like what they do with a lot of that, because that's like even in the one with the two kids in the Alien Santa or whatever, Monster Santa, they did that Aliens when it got right in Ripley's face.
Yeah.
That was very, and it's really weird. We've been seeing that everywhere.
Yeah.
It was even on the CW this week. I know.
All right, Rich. Let's just jump right into it. Let's jump right into the CW. Again, disclaimer: the thoughts and views of Michael Boroff do not represent or reflect the thoughts and views of Underground Video Network. That being said, Supergirl sucked balls. Man, dude, there was so much to. God damn it! I hated so much of this episode.
Well, it threw me for a loop during the first jump. Because what's her name was doing, the Alex did all the stuff and everything. Then all of a sudden it goes like to a commercial break, right? And then we come back, and I'm going, was this edited wrong? I almost jumped to that conclusion instead of knowing what was really going on. I go, is this edited wrong?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it was like they tried to pull off something and failed. First thing I got to mention, Richard, is, I'll give shows like the CW a grain of salt. I know that they have network budget.
Yeah.
The Phantom Zone was nothing but a bunch of trash bags draped over shit. And dude, we're talking horrible. We're talking like, I don't even want to insult us by saying public access level special effects. But these were public access. It was literally like a hallway that they threw dirt on, put up a bunch of cardboard boxes, and then draped trash bags over them. Like, I even stood there and I went up and I was looking at the screen going, yep, those are trash bags. Those are trash bags. And then the idea that again, I understand budgets and I understand bad writing. Hey, we're going to go to the Phantom Zone, but we need a ship. Ah, but the Watchtower's a ship. I hated that. You're telling me that this group of heroes who have spent a very large amount of time within this Watchtower never noticed the goddamn engine room. Hey, what's in it? Must be a storage closet. Let's not go in there. Look, a big giant engine. And you're telling me that at no point did any of the neighbors or surrounding, or even any of them, notice that the building was on hinges? Big, gigantic. Hey, John. Yeah, what's the hinges? Architecture. They just look like hinges. No, that was the cheapest.
It was Zulu.
Dude, it was the cheapest. And like they didn't even like really change. No. You know what it reminded me of, Richard? It reminded me when I was like 7 or 8 years old and me and my friends played Spaceship in my room. We made little switches and everything. It just so happened that the spaceship looked like my room. You know what I mean? That was the cheapest bullshit way of getting around a spaceship.
Calvin Hobbes does better.
Yes. Oh my God. So you're telling me this? Oh my God! You're telling me this desk I've been sitting at and working at for weeks now is also the control center for a huge spaceship? What?
Well, at least it's at the mid-season finale.
You know
and
who?
we got it. And we.
You know who would have had a field day with this? Walter Peck from Ghostbusters. Hear me out, Richard. Walter Peck goes to inspect the building. It's like, oh, it's up to code. But what about all this stuff about fuel? I'm seeing rocket ship fuel. No, I'm shutting you down. You know. Then he throws the switch and the ship flies out in outer space. You know, it's like you can't turn off the containment unit. That's what's keeping the proton accelerator for the spaceship. Oh fuck you, God! Oh, I hated that so much.
Well, like I was saying, you know, that dream sequence with Lana Luthor, you know, was straight out of Aliens.
Oh yeah,
that water demon thing that she used to dream about, and it was right in her face. Of course, she turned just like Ripley. You know, it was just like. But at least one good thing is Superman and Lois returns next week. So
yeah. While I'm thinking about it, Richard, because you mentioned it, here's a good example of how not to do something and how to do something. See, Supergirl thought they were being clever in that one episode, like, ooh, it's like Ghostbusters, and they even made the proton pack sound. That was garbage, and I hated every minute of it. Because it was a bad movie reference. Not a bad movie, but a bad movie reference. And then they tried the same bullshit with Back to the Future in the next movie. He's like, oh, it's like Back to the Future with a bit. Garbage. And then, like you said, this one, Aliens. Garbage.
Yeah.
Legends of Tomorrow. If you're going to make a movie reference, go old school. Go obscure. When he mentioned that the secret sauce was like the stuff.
Oh yeah.
Dude, who knows the stuff? I mean, I know the stuff.
Right.
You know the stuff. But I'm like, the writer banked on it. The writer took a chance.
Right.
And it worked. That writer was like, dude, I'm telling you, I can almost imagine it. It was like the dude, they were smoking pot. Hear me out. I'm not saying they were, but in my mind, they're smoking pot. Like, all right, dude. Okay, wait a minute. What if the secret sauce attacks people like this stuff? Do it. I'm in. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
And that cocoon thing, you know, when they was upstairs, you know, in the attic and stuff.
Well, again, good storytelling, because at first they did a nice little and such a nice little touch too. But I like how they didn't name drop Richard, but the burger guy hinted around the two brothers that are also opening up a hamburger restaurant.
Oh,
the Kroc brothers. You know, they never came out and said it. Again, good story writing, because it's like, our audience is not stupid. That's what it is, Richard. The movie references from Supergirl were for, I'm not saying stupid people, but were written for stupid people.
Mainstream.
We're making it obvious. So obvious.
Yeah.
Movie reference in your face. But Legends is subtle. You know.
Right.
You know, the cocoon and the stuff. And, you know, the inside, not the inside joke, but the subtle joke about the Kroc brothers, you know, the other hamburger place, you know, that's stealing my thunder, you know. Subtle. Brilliant, you know. I'm still iffy on Gary. I again, no show is perfect. I'm still, God damn it, just making Gary the alien just because. Like, we don't want to introduce another character, but we don't want to lose Gary, because Gary is a good character. We don't want to lose Gary. Fuck it, make him the alien. Make him, go ahead. Makes no sense, but it's Legends. It doesn't need to.
It's Crisis. It was Crisis. Yeah. They rewrote him with Crisis.
Yeah. But that was a good episode. We got to see everything that I love about Legends. We got the time travel.
Right.
We got some sci-fi. And we got the alien,
Right.
And I love, God, man, I love the brother and the sister. I love, man, he was another character that took me a little while to warm up to. Because, they got rid of, Nate's best friend. Damn you, COVID, and making a gap in my brain. But he was a replacement character, because his best friend got wiped from his memory. And
oh, yeah.
I've warmed up to him. I like him a lot now, man. I love the idea that the Legends have a stoner on board. I'm all for it.
Well, that's the brother of what's her name? So
Zari, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then it was really funny when they were arguing on who was going to get it. The other older one just goes here and click, and they both have one now.
Yeah, the Zari that we know from the previous seasons, that she's still listening to them. It's just like, I can't handle this anymore. But the brother and sister working side by side, flipping burgers, man. And I love Nate. I love Nate so much because, again, it's subtle writing. When they all get hired in, Rich, and they're talking about, he's going to be the fry cook. And it's like, we need somebody. When the woman holds up the roller skates, and Zari's like, not going to happen. And the woman's just like, we need a good looking guy out there. And I loved it, dude, his reaction. That's why he's such a good actor on the show. His reaction was so pure because he's like, no. You know what I mean? It's like he didn't want to admit how much he wanted to do it. He's like, no. I'm like, God, I love you.
And then, like I was saying earlier, Batwoman's really coming into its right now, I think.
Yes. I still think the way. How do I put this, Richard? What's the word I'm looking for? I still think the way they're handling Kate is kind of convoluted. They're making it more complex than it needs to be.
Right, but I can see why they're kind of doing that, because they want to have her memory all messed up, probably.
Right.
And they're dragging it out a little too long, like you said.
That's what yeah.
But I love it how Batwoman turned on Alice. Sister, Alice there. I thought that was crazy.
Dude, dude, Matt, I loved her. It appreciated her. After that moment, I respected her because she's just like, no, I'm out. Peace out, bitches. I'm out. I was like, that was gangster. That was a gangster move. Just letting her, nope, she's all yours. I'm out.
And she's being tortured and won't tell who she is because she wants to kill her. That just makes how crazy Alice.
Yeah. And that was a really cool story device. That was a very, very cool storyline about how they got a hold of Batwoman's DNA and we're going to run it against the database, and they were at that crucial moment. It's like, all I got to do is press this button, and when they realized, oh no, it's not just her information, it's in a packet of data with all of these criminals' DNA, and if we do this, chances are all of them are going to go free because that's DNA evidence.
Right.
That was a good, real, seriously deep moment. Like, wow, I did not see that coming.
I really hope that it gets more viewers from this season to the third season, and they change their mind and keep it around another season. But
I do too. I think in that world there is room for even if she's not Batwoman per se.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying I'm not saying a Batman and Robin type scenario. I'm saying a Batwoman or a Batman and Nightwing type scenario.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't want to see sidekick. I want to see partner.
Right.
And I would love to see her come into her own. You know, she's still feeling like she has to fill Batwoman Kate Kane's shoes.
And are we going to get spoiler now?
Ooh, oh, good pull.
Like after this week's episode, they introduce, you know, Clue Master's daughter, you know, and you know, and she has a history already lined up because the way they wrote the series, she was the one that helped put her dad in jail back in the day. So, I mean, that's a little different than the comic, but taking elements from the comic, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, hopefully it'll go on, you know, and this is like Flash, you know, this week, things are really getting crazy, you know.
Again, Flash was solid. I'll give it this one. Flash was solid this week.
Yeah, because we're finally getting the storyline of the forces or the elements or what, you know, the forces out of the way. You know, I hope we get that taken care of, you know.
Yeah. And I think me and you were in the same boat as probably every fan of that show when we watched it. When Barry came out and said, "I'm going to go back in time and fix this," like you could hear the collective fandom go, "God damn it, Barry!" It's like, come on, there are memes about this, you know. God damn it, Barry, not again.
I know,
but at least he learned his lesson and went about it intelligently.
Yeah.
When he found Forever Wells, you know.
And this also then points out how they're leading up to getting rid of. He's going to exit the series, and you know, and hopefully the rest of it will just like tie up. But there's been rumors now that the Arrowverse is actually now part of the DCU, the big picture now.
Mm-hmm.
And there was talk that the new Flash movie could have elements of the Arrowverse in it now too.
Oh, I hope so.
I just think this is all going to tie together. I just think like now, since the contracts are gone with Netflix, they can just start bringing everything over to HBO Max and just have one huge multiverse of DC. Just make good DC stories, you know.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it has to tie in with this episode or this episode have to tie in this episode. Just make darn good stories. Just like Superman Lois does not really need rest of the Arrowverse.
Oh, and we got some exciting news. Some not even rumors. We got some exciting foretelling about a certain favorite character of mine that's going to be making an appearance in the. Now, was it specifically Richard, Superman, and Lois, or was it like a return to just him being back in the Arrowverse?
He's directing an episode of Superman and Lois first.
Right. But they've also talked about bringing his character back.
And his character is coming back. But I think the way the article read, it's more than just that.
Diggle!
Yeah,
Diggle!
I guess he's going to direct even more episodes, you know, and other stuff. The May 25th episode of Superman and Lois, he directed, but he doesn't appear, is what EW was saying. He does not appear. Right. Because I guess that one totally goes with the other Luthor. We get a lot more backstory of the Luthor.
God, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
God, I'm excited for that. Granted, you know, I'm a huge Superman fan, but it's also really nice, Richard, being excited about a CW show again. I mean, yeah, Legends, full on excited. I look forward to those. But we talked about this, Richard, like the last year. And I mean, even before COVID, it seemed like Oh yeah, a new Flash episode came out last week or came out yesterday. I'll watch it tomorrow. Supergirl. I'll get to it. I'm not as excited about them as I used to be.
Well, I guess his original return was supposed to be a 5-part story crossover event,
but
they couldn't do it because of COVID.
Right.
Is what they were saying. That's what the EW article is saying. So yeah. But he is going to be returning. So
Yeah, but knowing that even though COVID had killed that chance, the door's still open. They were willing to do it. He was willing to do it.
Yeah, he's on the 12th episode of Supergirl.
Yes.
However many. That's his first episode that he returns. So
Green Lantern, please. I didn't even do this on purpose, Richard. I didn't even do this on purpose. I need to see this right here.
Yep, I mean at least that's what they're saying on here on the Entertainment Weekly. So go read that article. There's a link on our Facebook page.
Actually, that's probably where I read it. I'm almost positive that's where I read it, Richard. I just need more John Diggle. John Ramsey. He was phenomenal. Copy that has entered into my vernacular strictly because of John Diggle. And I think as fans, you know what, Richard, honestly, after this last year of The Flash and Supergirl, CW owes us. You owe the fans Green Lantern John Diggle. Garbage bags, Richard.
I just want I just want Stargirl.
Yes. You know what I'm imagining in my head, Richard? I'm imagining, hear me out, William Shatner taking a tour of the CW lot. He walks through the set of the Phantom Zone, looks around and goes, "This looks like crap." And we literally use trash bags on Star Trek. But hey, slip of the tongue, I said Star Wars instead of Star Trek. We got a new episode of Star Wars: The Bad Batch.
The Bad Bat?
The Bad Batch. What? I said that to him earlier. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier. I was texting a friend of mine earlier, and I typed in Bad Batch, but for some odd reason, probably because I'm a huge nerd, it auto-corrected for some reason bad to bat.
Yeah, I know.
And I sent Bad Batch. And because I'm a huge nerd, Richard, I went, damn it, autocorrect. No, Bad Batch. I'm like, oh God, and that's been in my head. It's been in my head all day. But we got a new episode of the Bad Batch.
And we're seeing a lot more of the origin of the Stormtrooper.
Yeah, man.
Not the clones, but the actual Stormtrooper and the recruitment procedure and stuff. So
yeah. The argument that volunteers are going to be more loyal than clones, and
well, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, because in this episode they were talking about how they provide like roof over their heads, food to eat.
Oh yeah,
compared to what was from the Republic,
Yep.
where they're starving, there's no food and stuff like that. The Empire is giving them everything they need to survive.
Yeah.
So why not become a Stormtrooper,
Yeah, it's a job,
Yeah.
And evidently, unlike some places around here, they pay well. We're not seeing any stickers or things on like the transports that says no troopers available.
No.
They pay a living wage. God damn it, Richard! The Empire pays a living wage. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to drop it like that.
But this episode really got well. The last episode showed how you had to have your code link,
Yes.
in the New Republic or whatever,
Yeah.
and that stuff was starting to happen, how they're tracking everybody and stuff like that. And then,
Yep.
And then in this episode, we saw the early rebels get wiped out,
Oh, man. And you want to talk about, damn, this, again, I mean, I'm not assuming that, the Bad Batch is like Teen Titans Go, for small children, but it is a family show. But man, to wipe them out, man. I mean, there was no ands, ifs, or clever way around it, man. That trooper wiped those people out, and Crosshairs wiped out that trooper.
Oh yeah,
flat out. Just
if you don't follow the rules,
a good soldier follows orders.
Yeah.
Damn. But, yeah. These aren't the old G.I. Joe cartoons, Richard, where you have all these laser blasts, but the guy miraculously jumps out of the plane at the last moment, and nobody ever gets shot. Oh no, people are dying up in the Bad Batch.
Yeah, it's really a good look at the transition from the Clone Wars into the Empire.
Yeah,
we get to see Tarkin at a very young stage in his career, where how he gained the power.
Not even Grand Moff yet. What was it, Admiral or General? It was either Admiral.
Yeah, it's Admiral, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but not Grand Moff. No, not yet.
So it's all progressing. So.
And I like how even an enlightened alien species like I want to say the Commodians, but the clone makers.
Oh yeah.
Dude, at the end of the day, everybody still wants to have a job. They're like, no, man, you don't need to get rid of our stuff yet. No.
Yeah, we want money.
No, we can do it. We can do it, man. Hear us out, At the end of the day, there's no morality behind it, man. They just want to keep the lights on. But it was a great argument between, using clones and then using volunteers, which is better,
Yeah.
I mean, we like we mentioned earlier, yes, we take care of the, the troopers, I don't know what their dental and medical or 401k is like, but evidently it's still cheaper. They pay very well, and it's still cheaper than a clone.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and then if you don't follow rules, bam, goodbye.
Yeah. God, the one thing that still bothers me about the show, Richard, and I know it's because of they're clones, so they all have a similar, well, I'm not saying a similar voice. We know it's the same voice, but like accent. Omega. Oh, my name is Omega. No. It's Omega. Pronounce the word Omega. There's no E. Oh, Omega. No. Omega is a watch. Omega is the character. But I really like seeing how the Bad Batch is really coming around and taking in, I almost said it, or taking in Omega, and really making her one of them.
Right.
That was a nice little touch. And especially coming from the big guy, going to the trouble of making her own little room.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah. Come on, that's adorable. Just knock it off.
But no, I just think it's going in a good direction, and we got several episodes because this goes for like 16 episodes.
Yeah.
So we're going to see the progression from there going straight into, the Empire, so now are we going to get some more tie-in maybe like with Rogue One or the storylines from those characters?
Yeah.
Because it seems like they're heading towards the rebellion. So are they actually going to be part of the rebellion eventually, or are they just going to be out there just doing their own thing,
Well, I wonder if cause we've already seen from Star Wars Rebels, Rex and his group, What was made me wonder about the Bad Batch is how they're going to handle these two different yet similar outside yet inside groups of misfit clones.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I just wonder if they will cross over eventually or something,
Yeah.
Because they hear how they're going in one direction and they kind of went in a different direction. So,
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm still calling it. It's going to be the A-Team in space. It's going to be the Star Wars version, And if you think about it, Richard,
yeah,
me and you were old enough. We remember this. Look at Omega. She's got a little bit of a young girl, Dirk Benedict quality to her. The blonde hair, as she gets older, she could be the face of the group. She could be the one that, she's the one that sets up everything,
Yeah. Oh, I did like how they touched on that they only have limited amount of food.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. It's nice when they add the real, the I don't want to say real life. It's a damn cartoon in the Star Wars universe. But
right.
Yeah, we never really, see, them struggling with rations and everything,
Yeah, because they don't have the supply coming in anymore from
Yeah.
the Republic, so they're going to have to either find some kind of currency or barters, or they do missions. They do missions for currency.
If you have the money and you know how to find them, contact the Bad Batch. Dun 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 dun.
Did you see Frank's little TikTok? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, the shuttle's too recognizable. We'll have to camouflage it. Let's paint it black.
And put a red stripe
on that wing. A red stripe.
But no, I just think that they're handling it good right now. I just hope they don't go. I just keep hoping they keep it embedded within that time frame,
Yeah.
And then go further with it. Show us other stuff that's happening, how other planets fall, how does the Trade Commission, or what happens to them?
Yeah.
If the Empire is taking over, how does that, all the I know with Grievous falling, most of the androids stop fighting, but is there still android legions out there somewhere?
Oh, there's got to be stockpiles of them somewhere.
It's because are they still fighting? How do they know that the war's over?
Right. And that's another thing that's really great about the Bad Batch is it really, you can't say the words extended universe anymore, but the Star Wars universe is huge. Again, it took them long enough to learn not everything has to be about a Skywalker.
Right.
There are a billion other stories out there, and just have them go completely, over here.
Right. Yeah.
Rogue One and the Rebellion are over here. Cool. We're out. We're,
Yeah, I mean, what happens if they run into some of the old clankers?
Yeah.
I mean, but like I said, they're going to have to survive, and I like the aspect that they're having that where they're going to have to survive. So I see in the next couple episodes them doing things that survive.
Yeah. One thing I want to see, Richard, because I like that they touched on a real life, aspect of, we're running out of food. It'll never happen, but I want one time. The shuttle they're on isn't a huge shuttle. It's kind of small.
Right.
One time, I want to see the big guy come out of the latrine. And everybody's like, pull it over. Dude, seriously, pull the ship over. We got to crack a window. Because come on, man. In real life, that happens. I've been on an airplane. You've been on an airplane. All it takes is one guy in, coach that's got the bad meal, and the entire flight is wrecked. I just want one time, it's like they go to an alien planet. Oh, we gathered all this fruit. Okay, we got to go. And they're eating bad fruit up in that shuttle. It's just like, oh, God. The ship's too heavy, drain the shitter. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see so bad. I want to see that so bad.
They're hiding underneath a Star Destroyer, and they need a cover. So
A TIE fighter is following them. We can't shake them. I got an idea. And the tech guy pulls a valve, and next thing you got to see it from the TIE fighter point of view, where it's just whoosh. What is this? Dude, wait a minute. Side note, another reason why I love Legends of Tomorrow so much.
Oh, yeah.
When they're on the ship and the alien smacks the windshield, what does Rory do? He hits the windshield wipers. Oh, and everyone, even the audience, the people on the ship, and even the audience thought the same thing was no, splump, blump, blump, blump. That just made it worse. Blump. Oh god. It's canon, Richard. The Wave Rider has windshield wipers.
I know. That's what I just couldn't understand how it had.
Oh my god. Oh. But no, see, that was a nice little bit of realism, injected into the universe. It was like, crap, we're out of food, and like you said, I'm hoping that one little detail is opening up, the direction of the show.
Right.
We're hungry. We need food. We need to,
Yeah. Yeah, because they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do. You can't just keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah. I like that tech. I really like tech. It's just oh, don't worry, I checked it. None of the major systems are affected. It's just all of a sudden the ship starts the crash. What? We still have life support. It's I like the guy that's so smart but is so stupid at the same time. I love those characters. I love his character doing that.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be cool, and hopefully can tie it and everything, and just keep it. I know they're going to keep it within canon, so it's not not like it's going to go out and do something crazy,
Yeah. And anytime they start to veer off from canon, like this intergalactic Mickey Mouse, so oh, can't introduce Mara Jane. Oh, she doesn't exist. Oh crap, But yeah, I did. I enjoy it. I enjoy the style. You know what I noticed this week, Richard, and I talk about him a lot because I talk about voiceover actors a lot. D. Bradley Baker is just phenomenal. Maybe the reason why I noticed it this week was because how we talked about it earlier, Richard, with Netflix. When the show's over, it automatically skips the credits and goes next into the next episode.
Right.
I noticed this episode, or maybe I was paying attention, but when they rolled the credits for the Bad Batch, it was D. Bradley Baker, the Bad Batch. They didn't even waste time listing the characters. Just he's all of them. He's all. And I did watch on YouTube, Richard. If anybody listening or watching gets a chance to I don't have the direct link, but just Google D. Bradley Baker. It was a very recent interview with him. It was over Skype or Zoom or whatever like this. But somebody was asking him about how he approaches doing the Bad Batch. And to see him right in front of you do one voice and then kind of shift into the next voice, just like the subtle facial mannerisms, you know what I mean? For this guy, he's got to tweak his voice back a little. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Freaking fascinating. I love that. But it's weird because I know he does all their voices.
Right.
But at the same time, when I'm listening to all the voices, I'm like, these are different people. There's no way. But to watch him do it was like, no, I don't believe this. This is dubbed. It was no. To watch him slip into all of them, man, that was amazing. He's an outstanding talent.
Yeah, like I said, I just hope it just keeps going. I know we had good runs with Clone Wars, so hopefully this will be good too.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how Star Wars, Lucasfilm with Disney might be changing directions a little bit on the management and stuff. So hopefully we can keep things going and we get some more stuff.
Yeah. Ooh. Hey. Speaking of. Star Wars. Richard, I like throwing in a comic book review every once in a while.
Oh, okay.
Just this last week, we got the prelude to Star Wars: War of the Bounty Hunters. It was a brilliant idea because we know when Boba Fett left Cloud City, he had Han. We just naturally assumed it was a straight line from point A to point B. Oh no, it wasn't. It was a very clever way that they brought into this story. The spoilers, people pick it up. Long story short, it wasn't a direct route from Cloud City to Tatooine. Boba had some technical issues. And he had to rectify those technical issues, and in doing so, he got mixed up in a little bit. This was really good. I really enjoyed this one. And I can't remember, Richard. I talked about Eve last week, didn't I?
No.
Comic book Eve from Boom Studios. Issue 2. Oh no, issue 2 is not out yet. I just put in my pre-order for it because this book is going on my pull list. If you're a fan of the Netflix series Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beasts, you'll definitely want to check this one out. I'm not doing it justice by saying that Eve is a more mature telling of the story of Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beasts. That's just kind of the feel that I get from it. Kipo's it's way into the future. Humans are living underground because bad stuff happened, and there's like gigantic critters. Like there's gigantic corgis. I'm not making this up. Gigantic, massive corgis that live on the surface world. And there's mutants and, making her way through the world trying to find her dad. Eve is a similar story in that the main character here has unknowingly lived a very large her life up until now in a simulation, and when she reached the right age, she was awakened from this simulation to find that the world had been destroyed, and she's on a quest to find her father.
Oh, wow.
And don't let the teddy bear fool you. Robot. That's all I'm gonna say. It's at first when I saw it, I was like, man, is like this in her head, or is it like no no spoiler, but I'm just saying, don't let the teddy bear fool you. Robot. But I really enjoyed that book so much that when the opportunity to pre-order the second one came out, I jumped on it and I had it put into my pull. So I very much enjoyed that one. What else did we have? In the Batman books, just last week, issue 108 of Batman introduced the character of Miracle Molly. I don't see her sticking around, but the storyline in Batman here recently, I think they're very much jumping on the popularity that should have been Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, wow.
If you know what I mean, they're leaning in that direction.
Oh, okay.
And we were introduced to the character Miracle Molly, who was smart enough to figure out that Bruce Wayne and his matches Malone persona.
Okay.
Oh, she figured him out. Oh, you're Batman. Well, I thought was impressive. I like that because she's smart. She's clever. I enjoyed that book. The one I'm really looking forward to, Richard, hopefully by next week I'll be able to do a review of book 1 of Jupiter's Legacy. yeah, looking forward to reading that one. So, Rich, that's about it for me.
Yeah.
What's going on? You got anything?
Not much more. I've been watching Netflix. I watched that Ava movie the other day with what's her name? Jessica.
Chastain?
No, the redhead. Oh,
Man,
now I went blank. But it was really good. She was like a hit person that like assassinates people, and she goes and takes and the company that she was working for wants her terminated then. And it's got Colin Farrell's in it too.
Colin Farrell. Okay, I know which one you're talking about now. Yep, I know which one you're talking about now. Yeah, if I remember correctly, I added that one to my queue too.
Yeah, I watched it all the way through the other night. I couldn't sleep. And 2:00 in the morning, I'm on my iPad watching it.
Yeah. Quick, another show that I just finished watching on HBO Max, The Nevers.
Oh, okay.
What's the newest episode? I'm really enjoying that show. I really enjoy that show. Special effects in it are really good. The time period was really cool. The set design and all that. The story. It's very. I've heard people compare it to X-Men, which is a fair comparison. It's like X-Men set in a Victorian period. You have a group of people who they're not called mutants; they're called the Touched.
Oh,
but again, it's the society doesn't like them. Oh, they're scared of them, and you have a group that wants to protect them. And yeah, I enjoy that show. I like that show. It's one I look forward to.
Cool.
So, yep. Other than that, Rich, I'm all tapped out. You got anything?
I just like that the theaters are starting to open up. I mean, I know they've been open for a little while, drive-ins are starting to be open again too. We're getting to the summer season, Memorial Day is right around the corner. So I think movies, hopefully with all the stuff that's going political behind the scenes, maybe everybody will get back to the theaters,
Yeah. So cool. Thank you everybody for listening and or watching. We really greatly appreciate it. We really do. Rich, for those that are listening and or watching, if they would like to see more of this or hear more of this god-awful nasally voice, can you please tell them where they can find us?
Yeah, you can just jump over to undergroundvideonetwork.com. That's our main website. You can find the UVN Plus video archive there with over 800 videos that from the last 18 years. You can rewatch anything that you've been on or would like to see. And then you can also find links to all our socials. We're on Facebook, Twitter. We don't do much Twitter, but we're on Twitter, Instagram, stuff like that. And then also all of our podcasts, because this is a real podcast. There's an audio version of us out there. You can go to the main sources, iTunes, Spotify, everywhere you find your podcast. Just look there, or just follow the links from our undergroundvideonetwork.com website. So thanks for watching.
Yep. On behalf of Richard and myself, thank you. We hope that everybody's staying safe and healthy, and we hope to see you everybody in person again real soon, hopefully at a theater, a drive-in, or a con soon. So, Richard, if you would please kindly press the button.